Hello there, Mr. 411. How's it going? It's been a
Man, it,
while.
man, it's been a while, Zach, but hey, everything's going good, man.
That is
Sport,
good to hear.
yes, sir, man. Here we go, man. It's a new year. We bringing back the Sports Brothers,
Yes, we
and
are.
we couldn't do it any other way. But we're gonna have a special guest with us tonight too, Zach.
Who is that? We got Beyonce on?
That's for another show.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Not Beyonce. All right.
Yeah,
We still getting there.
that's right. All right, let's get it.
Let's get when you hear that, you know what time it is. It's
Yes,
time.
yes,
Sports
sir. It's
Brothers
time.
back in full effect.
All
People
right,
ask for it, so we gonna give the people what they want.
there it is. All right, man. I like the colors you got on there too, Zach.
Well, thank you. I'm I guess showing Michael Jordan some love today, or I was just lazy and didn't have anything else to put on. You choose.
Hey, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Uh, the Sports Brothers. Today is March 10th, 2022. We're going to tackle some topics today. Russell Westbrook is in the news. Man, Calvin Ridley, he loves to play the FanDuel and other things. So, we're gonna get into that a little bit too. And man, the scene in the NFL, there's a lot of movement going on. So we got to talk about some of this quarterback
Yes, it
situation.
is. And involving your team.
Yeah, there's some huge news on that too. So yeah, we're going to touch on that. And then as we stated earlier, before we hit the jingle there, the special guest. We have a special guest with us tonight.
That
It
is
is
not
not
Beyonce.
it is not Beyonce. She's gonna have to take a number right now.
I'm gonna
We,
have to
we
work harder.
we got somebody bigger and better on tonight. So you know we're gonna get to it though.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, man. A little house cleaning, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you tuning in and watching, as we always do. But Zach, you know what time it is. What are the three things that we need everybody to do?
I
What
don't
is
know.
it?
It's been your favorite part of the show, I believe.
That's it.
And it's a great little thing you came up with. But tell them what you want them to do in case they didn't understand.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification. Please do those three things for us. That's what keep us going.
Amen. We appreciate it.
All right. Let's talk about it, Zach. The NFL, there's a lot of movement going on here. And especially with the quarterback, the quarterback carousel is starting to move now. And we'll kick it off with one of these quarterbacks with the what he just recently was on the Indianapolis Colts, and now he's a commander.
All right.
And
A
so what's
terrible
going on
name, but
there?
it's whatever. It
Yeah, so what's up
really,
with
really
that?
terrible name.
Carson
Uh,
Wentz, man.
well, for Washington is good. They need a quarterback. Taylor Heineke, uh, he was slightly below, I guess, if you want to go average or being adequate last year. So if Wentz is just gives them even level play and the rest of their team does what they're supposed to do, they probably can go 9-8, maybe win 10 games because that's not the strongest division in the NFL. They need to upgrade the skill positions, but not bad. The only thing wrong with Wentz, and we'll go into this with a lot of these quarterbacks, the amount of money they make. I think he's going to get like 28 million, I believe. Could be plus he gets like a $5 million, I think, roster bonus or something. I think we can confirm that. But if you're just going with the quarterback itself, he's better than what they had. So they got to do something, and they did it. What is he? You got Hurts and Philly, which I guess some people would say Hurts is better than him since Philly gave him up. I'm not so sure about that. And then you got your cousin up in New York. He's probably better than your cousin. And then at one time, people thought he was better than Dak. So he's at least what, number two in that division?
Man, wow. By default, it looks like it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Washington had to do something. They've been in the news, a lot of rumors about picking up another quarterback that we're going to talk about in a few minutes here. And
Did you
so,
say their odds dropped?
yeah, their Super Bowl odds dropped for picking up this guy.
Hey, look, I said all that stuff and their odds dropped.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a commander. But hey, as you stated earlier, it's better than what they had. It's better than Heineke.
It look, is it? I might have been wrong. Look, it's hard to go against Vegas, and when you put up the stat, they odds drop. that,
Hey,
oh
Zach.
well.
Well, but it's gonna, of course, this has an effect here with the Colts. I mean, the Colts every season, look at this: 16, 17, 2018, 19, 20, and 21. Another quarterback,
Wow.
So they have a nice streak there. And that question mark down there for 2022, it will soon be answered because of other movements that's going on. And but we do wish Carson, the best, and maybe a change of scenery will help him. By the way, he will be facing the Philadelphia Eagles twice, and he's also going to face the Colts. So he'll get a chance to play a former team, at least three times next season. So good for him.
Yeah, the Jacksonville game probably got him. That was probably the end of his tenure because they needed that game to go to the playoffs, and he was, I guess, to put it mildly, not at his best in that game.
Absolutely, man. 9-6, and that one
Yeah.
game, made a big difference for the playoffs for them. So, hey, they had to make a move, man. I'm not mad at them. Speaking of moves or not making a move, man, Green Bay Packers. It looks like they're going to sign Aaron Rodgers to a 4-year, $200 million contract. 153 supposedly going to be guaranteed. We'll know officially when it's all done, but that's what it's looking like. Man, I had to put that up there again just to see that 153 guaranteed. Man, what do you think about Rodgers?
Well, I guess the short answer is it's like we've seen this, and I thought the relationship had played itself out. But here's the simple thing that it really comes down to. He brought up all this stuff he was unhappy with, i.e. Jordan Love, them not making moves, not including him in decisions. All he was upset is about money. And what I think the line is, if you want to know what's going on or whatever, just follow the money. He's got the money, or the report is he has the money. He said that is not actually accurate. We'll see. My guess is that it is accurate. I'm not sure how this changes for next season for the Packers, because ultimately I think he has been the issue for them, at least the past 2 seasons. He had opportunities to win those games at home, and he did not do it. And I guess more importantly, Mr. 411, what this lets you know, and I think many of us men know this, the pretty girl can do whatever the hell she likes as long as she's pretty. It don't matter how she show her ass. At the end of the day, we still want the pretty girl. And that's what Aaron Rodgers is. He's a pretty girl. And he did all what he did, and Green Bay still bringing him back and paid him for it. So good for him.
Yep. And they're bringing back Adams as well. They're going to franchise him. And as you can see, the combination between the two is deadly, and so at least offensively, they're going to be, right where they need to be. But as you and I know, the Packers have been knocking at the door of the NFC Championship for a couple of seasons here. And, for them to make this decision to go with Rodgers, I mean, they gotta go ahead and the only way this really works now is if they win a Super Bowl. So
well, I was going to add one more thing to what you just said. Not only win a Super Bowl, but to me, they need 2 Super Bowl appearances in this 4 years, and to win one, as you're saying. Because if he's ended up getting $50 million a year, as we'll add when I kind of get through the next QB also, they are really saying, hey, we have the utmost faith in you that you can get it done. And that's what they're paying him for. Just a quick blurb about what Charles Barkley just said about James Harden, which the Sixers are kind of getting thumped this game. But his thing was, he said, when you bring in a superstar and you pay a superstar, you're not paying them to beat Minnesota. And he was kind of talking about these low-rung teams. you're paying them to help you win at the highest level and to beat the best teams in the league. Aaron Rodgers is getting this money, as you said, so he can make the Packers it at a bare bones minimum make it to the Super Bowl at a bare bones minimum. But I would
Yes,
assume
sir.
they're giving it to him because they think you can win us or win us the Super Bowl. Or at least his agent went in there and said, "Hey, we're better than Mahomes. We deserve more than 45. We're better than our boy that we talked about all year last year in Buffalo, Josh Allen, getting that 43 per year. So 50 sounds about right, but he better do something with it."
Yep. Got to get it done, man. But yeah, you said something about following the money, and
Yes.
that's what happened in Seattle right here, man. Russell Wilson, he is a Denver Bronco. Russell Wilson is no longer a Seattle Seahawk. Um, long time 10-year career there. But guess what? All things must come to an end, and Russell is now a Bronco. Uh, they have an agreement there. There was a lot of draft picks, et cetera, and all that in place. Russell Wilson, man, I know you want to hear me have something to say about it, but I want to hear you first, Zach.
Uh, I'll just say this: as this being your team, and as a friend of mine's team who is really into them, also, I don't think it's the end of the world. You and I had this discussion last year. I thought Seattle should have looked at maybe sending him to the Raiders for
Carr.
David Carr and also take
Mm-hmm.
their running back, Josh Jacobs. And maybe you could have got some other stuff then, but they're going with this. They probably have to find a quarterback unless they want to play the game of kind of just throw a season away and then you get into the quarterback derby for next year. But okay. And I'm just amazed that everybody's saying that now the Broncos are this Super Bowl contender and they have these better offensive weapons. And the receivers to me aren't better. Maybe the running backs are slightly better. And ain't the offensive line about the same? So the only thing you're saying is better is maybe the defense. And I'm not going to hate on Wilson. I know he has helped teams win games, but this will go to kind of the Aaron Rodgers thing. A great quarterback can help you win games in the regular season. But once you get to the postseason where teams are, say, a little bit more complete or better, they got to have the other pieces around them. And all of this money that you pay the quarterback with all of these guys, I don't want to hear the excuses about I don't have this, and you'll love this. The LeBron excuse of you ain't got enough help. When your ass takes the money, you're saying you don't need the help. And I think Seattle is a good organization, one of the better organizations in the NFL, and they can build from this, but they'll have to make sure they do the right thing. But it was time.
Well, yeah, and let's not forget either that Russell was drafted in the second round, and he was not even the initial quarterback for the team.
Correct.
But so he earned it during the preseason, and I forget the guy name that was in there that
I think
that we
it was
assigned.
Flynn, wasn't it? Out of Green Bay, he
Yeah,
had like the
it was
6
Flynn.
touchdown game, the last game of
Yeah,
the season. And I think Russell was third round.
yeah, it
But
was Flynn. It was Flynn because
yes,
he had a short stint with the Raiders too, and Seattle broke the bank on him, and turned out to be Russell. But
yes,
but the team benefit. But Russell Wilson was a rookie. Like I said, drafted in the second round. It was a low salary. The defense was loaded, and that's where he was able to do a good job. But he had that defense that was able to carry him along with the running game at that time. So Seattle had the formula to win it to be a contender. Now you talked about money earlier. That's really why he's not there anymore. The word is he wanted Patrick Mahomes type money,
no,
and Seattle was
like
like,
no.
just what you said, no thank you, and we'll move on from you. Because at some point you got to make that move. I mean, Seattle last couple of seasons, winning games, but not really going nowhere. And are you want to tread right in there, or do you want to go ahead and make the moves while you can, get what you can while you can, and then and build towards the future? And I think Seattle made the right move here. So, we'll see what happens in Denver. And as you mentioned earlier, weapons. I mean, Seattle still has DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I mean,
I thought they were fine weapons.
those are excellent receivers. I mean, what are we talking about here? And Penny ran the ball well when he came back this season. So Seattle still has something there. They just need to figure out, is Drew Lock going to be the guy for now? You know what I'm saying? Or where else direction they want to go with that, Zach?
Agree. And I would probably add one more thing in about Wilson. And he is maybe the Dwayne Wade track in the NBA. When Dwayne Wade came in, and he's one of my favorite players in the NBA, he was Dwayne Wade out of Marquette. He was a high pick, but he wasn't really somebody that was getting all this fanfare. He was a nuts and bolts kind of guy. When he got the first championship, it was just like, okay, he's a guy that's a star. He's leading the team. Then he divorces the wife, becomes D Wade, gets with Gabrielle Union, and now all of a sudden he's a superstar. He's got to worry about brand. He's got to do this. And nothing wrong with that. They're allowed to do that. Same thing with Russell Wilson. He was just a guy trying to make the team, and he was going to do whatever. And, he was fine handing the ball off and doing all the things he does. Then he married Sierra. And not mad at him at all. Congratulations on that. But now your brand becomes a bigger deal. And what I'll ask you as a Seahawks fan, and you're a longtime Seahawks fan, like people act like Seattle hasn't had a quarterback before, but Hasselbeck wasn't too bad when he led them to the Super Bowl. Exactly. And our guy that we kind of grew up with, Dave Craig, made like 3 Pro Bowls. And even Jim Zorn wasn't necessarily terrible. But what memory sticks out to you about Russell Wilson?
Oh man, the biggest memory is really I'm not gonna just say one particular thing, but just the fact that he, the mobility, the playmaking that he was able to make with his legs. And actually, he was a guy that, with his legs and his arm, he was very good at that. And Russell, if it was 4th down, 3rd and long, he would be able to run for it. If it was 3rd and 15, he would make that throw. But he always kept his head up and made plays. He brought a lot of energy to the team, and he's kind of typical of what Seattle has been over the years. Is kind of overlooked, type of player, but overachieves. And I think that's what Seattle has done throughout their tenure since 1977, by the way. And that's what Seattle's done. I mean, think about it. You brought up Dave Craig. That's one of the quarterbacks one of the most overachieving quarterbacks you ever think of. Because back in his day, nobody thought he was any good, but yet he would have, big years as far as throwing passes and touchdowns and yards. He was up there with the Warren Moons and guys like that. But so for me, Russell Wilson,
he'd be middle of the row if he played now.
Yeah. So for Russell Wilson, I mean, he brought a lot of energy to the team, an identity, and we wish him well. But to me, it's just really about his playmaking that we will miss. But I'll say this, Zach. The word on the street now with the 9th pick is that we're looking at
no. I was gonna say no. Deshaun Watson. I thought you were about to put up Malik Willis out of Liberty.
No, we're looking at this guy right here, Deshaun Watson. So keep an eye on this right here.
Now, my only thing with that is I'm not all into him, but I guess if you get him, he's a young guy. It's not the worst thing, and he'd probably be the best quarterback in the division, depending on how you look at him. But and no, nothing against Seattle, but if he's leaving Houston, why would he want to go to Seattle? Like, I would think that he would want to go to a big market to try and brand himself. Now, if he's fine going to Seattle, all good for Seattle. But
that fan base will love him there. Yep. But Russell Wilson, man, we love you there, man. You did a good job, but it's time to go. And the Pro Bowls, even the Super Bowl victories. I mean, you brought a lot to the organization, but it's time to move on. It's time for Seattle to rebuild. We're not going to tread in the middle. We're going to move forward. So we thank you, Russ.
And I'll just say this: wait for it. I know some has been trickling out. Wait for all these former Seattle defenders or even other players to start leaking stuff about Russell Wilson. It'll be coming.
We will soon find out, Zach. All right, man. Let's talk about it. Calvin Ridley, the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver. He's still a Falcon, right?
Sure, they still own his rights.
All right. So we're gonna go with that. Um, this the receiver. He's been suspended from the NFL. Um,
That's a very unimpressive picture by him right there. Like
well, it
he's
is what
not
it is.
look. He looks like he just got suspended. Like what?
Like he just got
For
the news
$1,500?
Yeah, but yes, he's he's he is out there now that he was making some bets, sports betting, and in
Yes,
particular, I think he's had a sports bet with the Falcons involved too. So, I mean,
correct.
what is your take on this, man?
Uh, First, I'm just gonna go with it. It is uh for him. He's got to pay the stupid tax, and all the stupid tax means. And you know this, Mister 41. We've known each other since we were damn freshmen in high school, and we probably done throughout our lifetime lots of stupid things. When you go back to your parents and they tell you behind up or put you on restriction because you just did something and you shouldn't have done it. it. Anyone for any sports team has to know. Look, not only can you not gamble, but you can't gamble on your team.
Yeah.
Like, once you do that, he's lucky per se the FBI or whoever didn't get involved. And I'll just say, like, you got this thing of the $1,500. I don't believe that, by the way. Like, he got caught for $1,500, and I'm gonna divulge a little bit of my personal information, so it's all right. I did it. We get better. When wife number one caught me cheating or whatever, and it wasn't the first time she caught me cheating. I'm sorry, it's the first time she caught me cheating, but it wasn't the first time that I was cheating. It's just what she caught, and I only admitted to what I got caught for. So, because there ain't no damn way that he just happened to be gambling for the first time, and then his ass is just so unlucky that he got caught for the $1,500. Now, I would, if I'm a conspiracy, what is it, conspiracy theorist or whatever, I would say that the NFL maybe found out it was worse than that, and they're just not letting us know because that would look bad on them. And what do you talk about in your sport? Like, you love to say that people say, hey, don't say wrestling is fake, but say it's scripted. And with the NFL, you don't ever want to think that it's scripted. So just kind of for the first little bit that I'll go into, and I'll let you take it for a minute. He's just paying the ugly tax, and he needed some mental health, or he needed a mental health break. And luckily for him, I kind of thought that was bogus, but he got his mental health break. And now he's going to get suspended for a whole year and miss that pay that he made during his mental health break. And as a early May, my grandma used to say, God don't like ugly, baby. God don't like ugly.
Man, this is look, Calvin Ridley, you can't do this. I mean, you just can't do it. You can't play the sport and then gamble on the sport. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking on this one, and I don't know how he think he can get away with something like this. There's too much involved. This is multi-billion-dollar business. And you're getting paid a lot of money to play football. I mean, there's no need to even risk it like this. I mean, there's a lot of basketball games you could have betted on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of boxing matches you could have betted on. I mean, why the NFL? So that would be, if I could ask really one question, it'd be why the NFL games? What's the deal? What is the scoop behind that? Why did it have to be an NFL game? And then in particular, why it had to be a game that you played in? Your team was participating in on top of that. So I think there's a lot of layers in here. And as you stated earlier, I think the NFL is going to try to cover this up and put it to bed as quickly as
Absolutely.
possible because they don't want some other stuff to get out. You know what I mean? So, I think that's where we are with this one, man. But not a smart move by Mr. Ridley.
Absolutely not. And as I think about all the money that is bet on sports, and for him to get caught up in something like that, like, no, uh, not gonna happen. And For me, honestly, I don't think the penalty is harsh enough. Like the NFL is letting him off very lightly. We both follow baseball when we were kids. Like baseball was much bigger when we were younger. We know the name Pete Rose. Pete
Yep.
Rose is the all-time hits leader. He bet on sports not as a player, though he probably did bet on sports as a player. It just didn't get caught, kind of like the Calvin Ridley thing. But he got caught as a manager. And I want to say what he bet on his team, but he bet on his team to win. And what did baseball say? That's good. You're banned for life. And they had these signs up everywhere because of the Black Sox scandal way back in the day or whatever when they threw the World Series. Because I don't think one season is enough. And I really think they should look at dropping a hammer on Calvin Ridley because, not trying to be funny, he's just a so-so player. Like he had one good season where he had like 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns, but that's when he was the number 2 wide receiver. And this year, through 5 games before he took his mental health break, he was averaging a whopping 9.1 yards per catch. You could drop the hammer on him and do a 2-3 season thing to send a message to everyone else and effectively end his career. And I got to be honest, I don't know why they're not doing it because, like, the truth is, can you imagine? Let's say for whatever reason he had played the season out and he's in a playoff game and the Falcons had lost the game somehow, and it turns out that he had bet on the Falcons and they lose the game. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is. I think it's way more to it, and I think the NFL is just gonna like. This is a good way to kind of give him a slap on the wrist, maybe keep him quiet, keep things moving. Because man, this is man. I just never say never, but I just really couldn't believe that a player would do this especially at this stage, man, when they're getting paid a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? This is not the days where you played the sport and then you had to work a second job. I mean, you're getting lots of money, and as you stated earlier, he's not like he's a great receiver. It's not like he's, Randy Moss or he's not an all-time great receiver, or even to me, not even really a perennial all-pro receiver type. So, I mean, there's more to it than this, and he's getting paid handsomely just
Yes,
just to be at the level that he's at. So why even get involved with some mess like this?
it, it's ridiculous. As I said, he's getting what he deserves. Just as I said, and I say getting what he deserved because you were just stupid. Like for no other reason other than you were stupid. So he's getting that part. And as I said, you have to, as a league, you have to send a message to this because now the next person is going to do this. And I'm going to go kind of what you said. I'm shocked by it, but if he's doing it, and I think he's the second guy, because I think what was it, a punter or somebody a few years back that got this, but he wasn't necessarily a big enough name that a lot of players must be doing this, and we just don't know about it. So
Yeah.
I'll just go back to they really need to drop the hammer on this. And I would say they missed the opportunity. Now I'm sure the commissioner can always go back, but if you're the players union, what do they care?
Right.
Like they should be fine. They should be fine if you ban somebody for life because as long as it's not you doing it, who cares?
Yep.
But bad job by him. He got what I mean, he got what he should get in a situation like this.
Yep. But hey, what we do care about though?
What is that?
That's Heavenly Spot Mobile. 2484 Ingleside Avenue, Building A, Suite 101A, Macon, Georgia, 312-04. LaTanya can be reached at 478-747-9231. 478-747-9231. Heavenly Spa Mobile, where relaxation is the key. And before we bring on our guests, we're going to let Heavenly Spa Mobile say all of the good things that she needs to say to all the listeners.
Hi, I'm LaTanya with Heavenly Spa Mobile. I'm a licensed massage therapist and owner. I've been practicing 18 years. If you're in need of any stress relief, tension, muscle, body aches, or just want to relax, you need to get yourself a massage. And please come check me out again at Heavily Spelled Mobile. I'm located at 2484 Ingleside Avenue. And I can be reached at 478-747-9231. Or you may go online to heavyspellmobile.com. I look forward to seeing you soon.
That's a great job, Latanya. Thank you.
All right. Please support Heavenly Spa Mobile. All right. All right. It's time to bring on our special guest for tonight.
Yes, our special, not Beyonce guest.
Yeah.
But we'll still appreciate it anyway.
As you can see right there at the bottom, Reggie. All right. Reggie in the building. What's up, Reggie?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. How's it going, Reggie?
Reggie, we hear you.
I can't hear you guys.
Oh.
Or say like what public you turn it up. Turn it up.
I can't hear you guys. I'm gonna go back
Bring
out
the
and
noise.
come back in, okay?
Sounds good.
Go back in, man.
Sounds good. Up. So that gives us a couple more minutes. Let's see. Hey, since we got a little time to fill, I'm gonna do the in case you missed it. I know we didn't do that back today, but last Friday on the 4th, my baby girl turned 27. Happy birthday, Carissa. Lets me know how old I'm getting. And then yesterday, my little brother Al turned 34. Once again, lets me know how old I'm getting. So happy birthday to both of them. And I would be remiss, let me not, I won't say her age, but my sister Brenda turned, whatever she turned, which I know her age, on the 5th. So lots of people were making babies come this March time frame, it seems, or man, prior to this.
Well, look, happy birthday to all your family members. And, it's always great to see another birthday, my man.
Yes, it is.
All right. Reggie.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
All right. And look at it. Oh, look at it. He got on a Brooklyn jersey. That's very convenient.
Oh, my goodness. He is Kevin Durant's keeper. Yeah.
Of course. All
right, Reggie.
What's up, Zach?
Tonight by Durant. What up, Reggie?
What's up, Mr. 411?
What's up, my man?
Nothing much.
All right, yes, sir. You listened in. You heard a little bit of what we had to say. I know you're chomping at the bit to talk about. You want to say something about Russell Wilson? So go ahead, carry on.
Yeah, I want to say first of all, I've been waiting to get on here with Zach because I'm like, can't wait to debate Zach and come back with my arguments and rebuttals to everything he says. Get on here,
everything.
I'm agreeing with everything he's saying. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? His take on, I totally agree with. It's like Russell Wilson. I'm not trying to blame the woman. I'm not going to blame Sierra like that. But it's exactly like Dwayne Wade when he got with Gabrielle Union. It's like his whole focus went from basketball to branding. And I know that came with age, but it's like his play just diminished once he started focusing on branding versus basketball.
Yep.
And another thing you said was you was talking about a lot of people has anointed the Broncos. I don't think they're that good.
I agree.
I just don't see it. And like you said, Seattle had a better receiving core. So their defense, I think Broncos defense is okay. And of course, Seattle, they just lost the Legion of Boom, lost the last member of that group. So I think their defense is pretty much even. Another thing, I don't think they ever recovered from that Super Bowl loss when Zach asked, "What do you remember about Russell Westbrook?" Russell Wilson. I don't know if he
Oh
was
man,
talking
don't mess
about
that
that or
man
not.
name up.
No. But Russell Wilson threw a brick then when he threw that pass, though. So it's basically the
Yep.
same thing. So I don't think they actually recovered from that. I want to ask y'all this: do y'all think Russell Wilson is overhyped? Because I actually think he's kind of overhyped. I think his Super Bowl came off the Legion of Boom and Marshawn Lynch running.
I mean, I think
Mr.
he's a pro. I think he's a Pro Bowl level quarterback. I mean, he's an All Pro quarterback. But I mean, it depends on what level you're talking about. You know, as was stated earlier, you know, the word is he wanted Mahomes type money. You know what
Right,
I'm
he's
saying?
not on that level.
And
What group would you put him in?
I put him in all. You know, he's an All Pro.
No, I mean
quarterback.
as far as the quarterbacks, like the top tier, second tier. What do you have?
I'd have him in the second tier.
I have him in the he's a second tier quarterback. I mean,
Like he's
he's
not
he's not the guy that's gonna carry everything on his back and get you through. In my
yeah,
opinion.
he's not like a John Elway coming out or some all-time type prospect. It's kind of like you said, he had to have all of the things in place to win, i.e. a running game.
Right.
Then you had the defense and you add him to it. Now he'll probably be better at Denver statistically, but that's because he ain't got the Rams, Aaron Donald chasing after him anymore. And he ain't got that San Francisco defense. And I guess the
his stats
Arizona
are going to be
defense
with the
wasn't bad.
competition.
Yeah, the defense, ain't nobody worried about the Chiefs defense. The
Mhm.
Chargers defense is still letting people run through big ass holes, keeping them out of the playoffs. And then the Raiders ain't been great defensively. So that will be better. But I don't see him having like a 4,500-yard season where he is throwing for like, say, 45, 50 touchdowns and all this stuff. He'll be good. And they'll get to the playoffs. And they'll have a chance just like anybody else. Like he could be like the Bengals next year.
Will they get to the playoffs? Do you think they're a better team than the Chargers? And remember, it's on the table. The Chargers might get Khalil Mack. You talk about that hole. They might get Khalil Mack. Are they really better than the Raiders?
He better be. Like they traded for him, so he better be. That's the real thing. They brought him in because whether the teams is better or not, they're saying you're at least close to as good as Patrick Mahomes, and that you're better than what's old boy in Herbert in with the Chargers, and then you're better than David Carr. I'm assuming that's what they're saying, and that just like the Rams and just like Tampa Bay, you're going to get us over the top, and we'll have to see it play out.
And therein lies the whole thing, Reggie, is that, you know, Seattle made the decision, hey, you're not going to get us back to a Super Bowl. You're not going to do it. So we're going to move on. And Denver is saying, hey, we've been making a terrible decision after terrible decision after terrible decision on quarterbacks. And here's an all-pro quarterback, and we're going to pay for him. So
yeah, I think they're pressing.
That's why this is done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think John Elway is one of those high risk guys. Like he took the chance on Peyton Manning at the end of his career, so I think he's trying to do the same thing here with Russell Wilson. He gave all those picks away, and hopefully Seattle knows what to do with those picks. And I forget, was it you, Mr. 401, that mentioned that Deshaun Watson thing? If they
it's a rumor, yeah.
If they flip those picks and get Deshaun Watson, they're right back in the same place. So I don't think Seattle really lost anything with losing Russell Wilson. I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan, to tell you the truth. I'm really not a big Russell Wilson fan. I think he's a little bit better than Dak Prescott. That's where I put him at.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't think he's really that good.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, we'll get a chance to see this year. Like,
it's on him. I agree with that. It's on him now. It's really on him
because he doesn't have a great coach. Like his coach is going to be a first-year coach. Supposedly, this is the offensive guy that he's been waiting for. And then, like I said, everybody, it won't be any excuses because everybody thinks this team is great. They need to listen to you and me, Reggie, so that The expectations ain't big, so if they go out there and flame out, it won't look bad on them. But the way everybody's making it, they should be in the Super Bowl. Like they should be like Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So good luck with that.
Yeah. Who's their running back?
Well,
Uh,
there you go.
They got the one cat from that came from the Chargers.
They still have him,
and then I know they got
What-
Javonte Williams or something out of UNC. He
Yeah.
was solid as a rookie. But what's his name that came from the Chargers?
Gordon? Talking about Gordon?
Yes, there you go,
Gordon.
Gordon. Like that's what I said. They got okay pieces.
Right. To me, that's exactly what it is. Everything on that team is okay. Jerry Jeudy is okay. Sutton
Yes.
is okay. They actually gave up the biggest thing with giving up that tight end, Fant.
Yeah.
I liked Fant, so
I like
I
them
was
too. Yeah.
hard to get him. And then their defense, they shipped out what's his face to the Rams. So DN. Oh man.
Von Miller, yeah.
Yep, they shipped out Von Miller. This ain't like the defense that went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that's what I said.
Right.
We'll get to see. And oh, by the way, the elephant in the room is, like you said, Mr. 411, he wants Patrick Mahomes' money. So it's all good right now. But when we get to next year, I think when the contract is up,
he's still not
let's
satisfied.
see what it's then when he's asking for $45-50 million.
Mm-hmm. And the team still needs more pieces, and you still asking for this money.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Guys, you summed it up, man. I hope Denver's listening.
Yeah, we talking about money. Y'all heard y'all talk about Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, man. What's your thoughts on the Calvin Ridley situation?
Once again, I agree with Zach. He's gonna be the right now. He's playing the stupid consequence for being stupid. A lot of people are saying the NFL, they're in business with these sports gambling companies and stuff like that. That doesn't matter. It's all about the rules. It don't matter who they're in with. That's a different entity. You're a player. You have to follow the rules on the field and off the field. So you were stupid enough to do it. You're gonna pay this stupid consequence. And I believe they actually might have knew it last year when they was talking about he's on a mental break. I think they knew it then.
Oh, that's what the break was for.
That could make sense.
Yeah, I think they knew it then. A la Michael Jordan retiring. Right, sure.
Yeah.
Sure he's retiring. You know he's gambling. You're going to squeak this under the rug because you don't want to be what, like you said, Major League Baseball with the Pete Rose thing. That we're going to die and our kids going to be still talking about Pete Rose and what he did. So that stigma, they don't want that stigma. Nope. So I think they did. I think they are covering it up, and it's actually bigger than what they put out. I'm gonna grab something I want to touch on.
You talking about
Zach, you were saying that the suspension, you think it should be bigger.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it should be bigger too, but I think the reason why it can't be bigger in this day and age with social media, the first thing people are going to say is, "Oh, you didn't suspend Ben Roethlisberger for rape allegations. You didn't suspend what's his name, Ray Rice, when he beat up his girlfriend. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Mr. 411 on it. All those other things in people's moral mind, is a greater thing than gambling on sports. So they're gonna feel that backlash from the social media and all of that, and probably some women rights groups may come out and speak on you're minimizing domestic violence versus someone gambling. So I think they probably take that in consideration. Another thing I want to say about that is a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people were talking about the sports gambling, and like the rules. It's the same thing when old girl was smoking in the Olympics.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Right.
Our girl.
Yeah, we say, you smoked a little bud, so everybody should forget it or whatever. You was going through stress. No, those are the rules, regardless of what you're going through. So you got to look at the whole picture there.
Now I'm gonna go back to what you just said about how they might take some flack, Reggie. This is all I'm gonna say. First, the NFL is a billion-dollar corporation. They make plenty of money. It you can take some flack. But number
Right.
two, and we'll say Mr. 411. We know he is the nicest guy in the world and he wasn't busted great. But if Mr. 411 come home and punch his wife in the face and whoop her ass, the police and the court system will take care of that. If
True.
they don't put him in jail, you can't blame the NFL for that. That's on them. Like a job or organization like the NFL should go off of what the law says. If you get a DUI, if you smoke weed, or if you do whatever, and the NFL don't suspend you or don't release you, once again, they are allowed to let the law do their thing. The law should handle that. But for betting in the sport, that's kind of like an internal thing that they are allowed to take care of. Like, even if the law does handle DUI, if I show up at my job drunk, my job can then do whatever. So that's why I say for something like that with them, for the integrity, because and I don't know about you guys, but I put some money down on the NFL from time to time. And look, I don't think he was playing in any of those games, but I make wagers on the Falcons occasionally. And heaven forbid if he or any of these other players are throwing away games. And look, I ain't got money like they got. So if I put my little $200 down and they out there point shaving, to me, that's egregious. And you get like 10, 12, 20 million of me's like you guys. Look, we work hard for our money. I'd like to know that they out there doing what they supposed to do instead of they don't went out there put say $200,000-$300,000 on the game and they like, we just need to lose this game by 6 points and I'm good. Or we only need to win this game by 3 points instead of winning it by the 6, they say.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes.
And if we look at it, the NFL, they are involved in the numbers
Yep.
game. Who knows? You may have lost $1 million for the NFL.
Yep.
Well, that's the whole thing, guys. This is big money now, and it used to be taboo to gamble on games and stuff like that. And I'm talking about just amongst people. It used to be taboo,
Yes.
Right.
but it's wide open. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the booming industry of fantasy sports, and then now you get into the daily fantasy sports over the last 5 years or so, which then morphs now into like the sports books and all this kind of stuff. You see all these commercials now. I mean, the way it's going now, and it's in this, in New York, in certain areas, you can go ahead and bet on games easily. And this eventually is going to be in every state at some point. So we might as well get ready for it. It's in the open now.
It's just like the lottery, basically.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. And the NFL and other sports as well, but in particular NFL here, they don't want this to be messed up. So the way to keep it okay is that you can't have your players gambling. You know what I'm saying? You can't have them the ones betting.
Absolutely.
So they're going to keep it clean. So they
and you missed the big thing, Mr. 411. Like you were going there, and I thought you were about to say, but they're gonna have it in the stadium that you can gamble.
Yes.
And you know how, and they got like all kind of things like that you can gamble. Like, hey, are they gonna get a first down on this drive?
Right.
It's gonna be interactive. As I said, I can't have Calvin Ridley out there saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna play hard on this play." Hell no. That's why I say, Reggie,
I got $1,500 on this.
Suspend him. Look, give him 3 seasons and dissuade anybody else from doing it. And you're right. People will come out at them with that and say, "Hey, why you ain't taking women's rights and all this serious?" And the honest answer is, and the NFL won't say it, because y'all ain't helping us make billions of dollars like this gambling does.
Right.
That's why we ain't taking it serious like that. Now, they won't say it, but that's what it all comes. Like we said at the beginning, follow the money.
Yep, exactly.
That's it. Oh man. Hey Reggie, while you here with us, man, let's go ahead and talk about this subject. Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, and I'm gonna say
your
Russell
boy's partner.
Westbrook. There you go. He used to play with your favorite player there, Reggie, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And but his wife, his wife has been in the news of late. She's been back and forth with people like Skip Bayless and whoever else wants to throw
Stephen
the
A.
Westbrook name, Stephen A. Smith. Anybody else who wanted to put the Westbrook name to shame, she's been outspoken about it, adamant, putting her foot down about the situation. And now Westbrook is now putting his foot down about the situation.
He's
Just the
doubling
other day,
down.
he was yelling at a fan at the Spurs game. I think the Lakers in their loss to the Spurs the other night. There was a fan heckling him, and he went right back at the fan. So there's no more shaming of the Westbrook name by Russell. I mean, according to Russell and his family. So give us your take on this situation, Reggie?
First of all, I want to say death threats should be taken seriously. I don't think there's anything to play around with. And now, Westbrook is getting exactly what Westbrook deserves. When you was Mr. Triple Double, you was the bully. You was the big bad bully in the NBA. I'm gonna go off on him for calling KD a cupcake. You had people in OKC calling KD a cupcake. You were the number one troll. But now you want to play victim. And you know what? I have no problem if he did it behind the cameras and his wife did it behind the camera. But it seems like they want to make it a media thing. They want to tell Skip Bayless, hey, you need to apologize for what you've been saying about Russell Westbrook. Why should he apologize? He's doing his job. He was doing his job when you were named MVP and he was saying you was doing all this triple-double, haven't been done since Oscar Robertson. He was bigging you up then. You're having a bad season on your standards. You're having a bad season. So why can't they critique you? You're not the only player getting death threats. You don't think Aaron got death threats? I mean, you don't think Bill Russell got death threats? So I know, like I was saying on the other topic, we're in the age of social media. But also I think we're in the age of reverse bullying. So you say something about me, I'm going to play victim, and then I'm going to turn it on you. And I don't agree with that. I'm all about keep that same energy when you be on the court being a bully. I just don't see what is going on with Russell Westbrook. I just don't. What do you think, Zach?
Well, I had forgot about the cupcake thing with KD, but you absolutely right. He was dishing it out, and now he's getting it back. But the big thing with Westbrook is he's old. Like he's a guard, and when you're a guard, especially a small guard, and you're not a shooter like that.
The athleticism.
Yep. And it's just he's getting old. Hey, I go to the gym, play with the young guys, and you know what? And the young guys give it to me. Like they got that quick twitch still, and it's just look, I have to play like an old man and do those old man type things to try and compete. And at the NBA, that's probably hard for him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Add to the fact that he went to the Lakers, so now the spotlight is bigger on you, and you playing with LeBron James. He signed up for this, unfortunately. When he decided to get drafted, it's in the small print. You're gonna get this. Now I'll go with you. He shouldn't get death threats. Like it's not that serious that he needs to be getting death threats. But outside of the death threats, I'd say as long as they're not saying racial slurs, he should be good. And going to kind of what you were saying, ask Jackie Robinson what harassment is like. Like when you get into Jackie Robinson type harassment, then come talk to me, Westbrook, because Jackie Robinson got the harassment and had to deal with it. When he's like the only one there, they making fun of your name. It's okay. You making $40+ million. Explain to your kids that this is what happens when you go in this type of profession. But if he didn't want to get his name made fun of, or if he didn't want to be scrutinized, then he should have been a librarian or something, and he wouldn't have to worry about it. But it's like you can't take the good and then don't take the bad.
Right.
If you're going to be the hero and you're going to get all them cheers, like you said, when he was Mr. Triple Double and they were loving him up when KD left and giving him the praise for staying and he's loyal and all this stuff, you have to be willing to take the low. And I can tell you, As a guy that played cornerback, it ain't no lonelier feeling than when you get beat, say, over the top, and the guy's running in the end zone, and the band is striking up the damn music playing, and you like, and everybody will see you, and it ain't no hiding. You got to eat it. He's a big boy. He's good enough to handle this.
Right.
I don't think, like, I'm more shocked that he's whining like this. And I like what you say about the reverse bullying, that he's trying to get them off of him. Hell no. It's okay. Like I said, as long as they ain't calling him anything racial, it's all right.
But ladies and gentlemen,
I wouldn't sweat it.
You know, here's the thing too, is, you know, and I'll say this, Russell Westbrook really, you know, he's not playing terrible this year.
I said on his standards he's playing.
Right. I mean, but the main thing is that he's just in a situation that is not a good fit, you know, and it wasn't from the jump. And, you know, he's not the only one that's not playing well, you know, as far as if you want to lead to victories. And, you know, it's part of the thing, man. When you decide to be in this type of, you know, area of work, line of work, this comes with it. You know, I referee basketball, and I would like Russell Westbrook to call a couple of basketball games and listen to all the things that are said. You know, I had family members that attended games, you know, and they had to hear all the stuff that's being said about the referees and so on and so forth. And you talking about somebody who gets yelled at all the time. I mean, you know, look right here. I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's been said through the years.
A referee can't do anything good in the game because
And there's been stuff
both sides.
There's been stuff thrown at officials. There's always stuff said. The crowds have chants, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, about refs and so on and so forth, and the other line of work too. But the point is, you know, it comes with the territory. I mean, as long as they're not, you know, let's go ahead and beat the dead horse here. Sorry, Peter, but you know, as long as it's not the death threats, things like that, that's going too far. But I think the league has things in place that can handle that. But as far as like name calling, things like that, I mean, they call each other names when they're playing out there on the floor. I mean, it's just part of the game. You know, just do your job, get paid, keep it moving, and you'll be all right. You know, the number one thing is when you react the way you're reacting, all that does
bring it on.
All that do is just fuel the fire.
It's gonna fuel the fire.
Just fuel the fire. I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. So, you know,
Look, if he wants them to stop calling him names, play better. Like, if you play better, they won't bother you if you play better.
Yeah, he can control it to a certain extent.
I mean, yeah, to a certain degree, but yeah. I mean, I thought it was interesting though, because you know you have these players now wanting to fight back, but then these same players, i.e., this guy right here, where is he at? This guy right here in the blue sweatshirt right here, Draymond. As many times I've seen him yell at referees and get in their face and chastise them, I mean, he's the last person that need to be talking about anything. So,
and you know, I was never the guy that would say that these players in this age were sensitive. But I'm like, what y'all want to do? The fans to just sit there like it's a golf game and just be quiet? Like, what do you want?
No, you gonna get that, and they make so much money now, and we as fans, for the most part, we know they make so much money. Like going back to Aaron Rodgers, he was quick to say all the reports about the contract ain't true, and maybe they not. Maybe he is ended up getting 148 million, or maybe he's only getting say 120 million guaranteed instead of 153 million. But they don't want people to think, oh, I just did all of this for the money and all this other stuff. And look, to me, as I said, it just is what it is. It ain't a big deal. If you about the money, be about the money. And when you take this money or whatever, like you were saying, Reggie, you go get a certain amount of scrutiny. Like, it's just gonna happen. And FYI, I'll trade places with Russell Westbrook and go out there and play bad and make 40+ million, and I'll be happy for them to talk about me and call me names. And look, they can even call me the N-word if I'm putting 40 million in my bank account for the season. Like, look, I take it as a song. I pay Chan with him, yeah. Like, he's a winner to me. I don't know what he's whining about.
song.
Well, I mean,
Like,
his
I
wife,
think it was a rap song.
Yeah.
well, well, look, Zach, his wife made a great point. I mean, it's just a game, you know, and so that's how they need to look at it. And Russell's been saying that a
Yes.
lot this season. It's just a game. It's just a game. And yeah, it is. It's just a game. And at the end of the day, you get paid for that game. And
Yes.
so you could, you could just let that stuff roll off your
I
back
think the
and
players
keep it
really.
moving.
I just never seen. I guess you know who started this whole. Well, he had a right, but I'm going to go back at the fans things. You know who started that, but
Oh
like
Lord.
it's like they want something in the fine print. The players aren't really touching you. They're just words. That's all it is. It's just words. And like Zach said, Jackie Robinson really went through some stuff.
Yes.
Besides just words. I mean, he really went through some stuff. And all you getting is just words on the court. People paid their $1,000 for some of these floor seats. So they want to get their money's worth. And their money's worth just they want to be a part of it, not just sitting there just looking at you.
And hey,
Yeah.
I'll give you. You want to see something really crazy, like soccer? In soccer, they crazy. Like when you talk about death
Right.
threats, they be real about them death threats in
Yeah.
soccer.
Right. Ask
Like,
those soccer players how many bananas
No.
did they not throw at
Yes. And then who
Well,
was that guy
batteries.
that kicked it into the wrong goal some years
Yeah.
back or whatever? Like
Yeah.
now,
His life was on
like
the line.
Westbrook should be happy they not taking it like that. Like with this, just go play, go home.
It's funny you mentioned that. Zach. I was in a debate with a guy earlier today. It was it might have been Westbrook or Kaepernick, one of them we were talking about. And he was like, the black players need to learn how to play soccer so they can get into soccer. I'm like, bruh, no, no, they don't. they're not ready because that's a whole different level.
If you're
of
gonna be
torment.
sensitive like this, yep, like you can get paid in soccer, but they take it way, like it's life or death for them for real. Like, are y'all crazy?
Right.
So no, he good. Like he should be happy with he just put himself honestly in a bad situation. It's a big spotlight, especially with you with LeBron and you with the Lakers, and his skill set just don't mesh with their skill set. And I really I don't know if you need to blame LeBron or you need to blame Rob Pelinka or whatever, but the people that put the team together, blame them. Because I'm gonna go like with what you said, Reggie, and I'll go with you, Mr. 411. Westbrook is for the most part being Westbrook. This is who he is. Yep. So he ain't doing nothing he don't normally do. It's just people paying more attention to it now.
Right, and it's not working in that system.
Well, yeah, because he's not getting the amount of touches that he used to get.
Right,
he's not having the ball as much, so it's not as effective anymore. And well, not anymore, but this season. And so it's just not working. And hey, look, the mailman. Remember people were talking about the mailman throughout his career. I mean, everybody's been through, fans and jokes and stuff like that. And it's part of the sport. Is what you really should be relishing, because then you can shut them all up.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. He can control it to this.
You can just shut them all up. Reggie Miller, loved to get booed when he was at Madison Square Garden.
He went right back at them.
You just get it done, and so you'll be okay. But at the end of the day, they're getting paid, man, a lot of money. Well, just you're taking care of your family. You're living a great life.
Well, Reggie almost said it, but he didn't really want to go there because he's trying to be nice. But and look, I'll say it: younger black men these days is built a little bit different than what older black men were, in the sense of they just can't handle stuff like we used to handle, like where it wasn't a big deal. And I'll even go up, because I'm gonna go my uncles and my dad and that generation. They had to deal with real deal stuff.
Right. They were actually harder than we were.
Yes, we were. And now we get into the generation now, like you said, we get overly sensitive about every damn thing. Oh, they called me Westbrook. Oh, they don't like that I can't shoot a jumper. Like, you making 40+ million, feed your family for generations. Get tougher. You can throw a lot of the NBA guys in there.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I don't know why it's just like it's more the NBA guys that are so sensitive.
Because they like supermodels.
Mhm.
They like the Victoria's Secret supermodels or whoever you want to go. They so used to people kissing their ass that when you don't, they don't understand why you're not doing it no more.
Right, they don't know how to react to it. Exactly.
Yep.
Good point. Hey, before we leave off the Lakers, LeBron, open shot, open
Do
shot.
what?
LeBron, open layup,
Not LeBron.
kicks it out to Melo. Not the King. Really?
I
I
mean,
want
that
my
was a
respect. I want my respect.
well. I mean, look, LeBron's a great player. We're gonna let's go through all that. Get this great player, and I mean great player. He's, in my opinion, he's in the top 10 all time. He's in the top 10 all time. We don't have to even debate that part of it. You know, you can debate it as you get lower in the count. You know, that decision that he made last night, you know, he should have laid the ball up. I mean, there's no question about that one. But I think out of instinct, I think out of the way he plays the game, he already made his mind up that he was going to kick it out. He was going to drive and kick. Either he didn't want to go to the line, you know, either he didn't want to go to the line and have to make the free throws if that was going to happen, you know, get fouled, and he just rather kick it to Carmelo. And if he makes it, he looks great. If he misses it, hey, I made the right play. I mean, that's just that. But that's how LeBron plays the game. And to his credit, is work for his career because he has multiple championships. But if we're talking about that play right there, but talking about that play in Houston, he should have laid that ball up. There was no other option there for me. It was for him to lay it up.
You lay it up or you get fouled or something. My boy Ben Simmons got killed for doing the same thing.
Well, for me, I think maybe in LeBron's life or whatever, mostly when he was coach, that he was kind of one of them kids. They said, "Hey, you can't play as rough with everybody else because you bigger than they are, and you're gonna hurt them or something." And he holds himself back because to me, it doesn't feel like he understands that he's like 6'9" or six
He's a
eight
monster.
262. Like you're
He never
bigger and
played like that.
stronger and more physical than everybody. Yet a lot of the times he doesn't play like that.
Right, he's
And
basically Shaq at his position.
yes, and it just has
Yeah.
to be something mentally with him that he, hey, I'm not gonna do this because I can harm somebody. Because I'm with you. Like I think a lot of times he should put in work against dudes and really
Easily.
give it to them physical. Like they got a highlight tonight where Embiid slammed it to your boy Durant, or they like Embiid caught it, slammed it to Durant, and then went up and finished. And then Durant didn't like it and got in his face, but it happened because Embiid is bigger, and Embiid should do that against Durant because he outweighs Durant. LeBron should be bullying guys like that, and sometimes he doesn't. Like the play the right way thing is like that was drilled in him. Hey, don't shoot too much. You don't want to be like Kobe Bryant, or you don't want to be like Jordan. You don't want to.
You don't want to be that ball hog.
Yes,
ball hog
and he just has that in his head, and he just goes back to that wire. Like the only time you'll see that he doesn't do that is go the Boston game 6, which I think is his greatest game, 2012 in the playoffs before he won his first championship for the Heat. Or if he's mad or something, then all of that goes out of his mind. But other than that, he's almost always going to do that. Like you can count on it. He's going to get the ball up to you.
It's strange that he does it in the clutch, though. I can see you get people involved in the middle of the game, but in the clutch, you're the guy. You're the great one. So that's your time to shine. So it's like you said, it puzzled me that he does.
Yes, it's
that
something in his wiring. Because Jordan and Kobe would do that. Jordan and Kobe, they feel like, hey, the best option is for me to shoot the ball, and then the next best option is for me to shoot, and then after that, I need to shoot again. Like, just give it to me, and I'm gonna shoot. And he doesn't think like that.
Yeah, and like we said, I mean, and also part of that is too, Zach. I think LeBron, if you just go back to high school, he's always been the guy with the ball in his hand, playing up top, a la Ben Simmons, a la James Harden, a la Westbrook style. Like he's always had the ball, and he was like the point guard. He's always the one dribbling, driving. There's really no other style of play that he has. So
Correct.
Right. That's exactly
So
right.
I mean, he's pretty much pigeonholed into this situation, but he could have drove to the basket. Go back to the Golden State game last Saturday night. There was no 7-footers in that game. There was no 6'11" players in that game. There was
Could have
no
dominated.
6'10" players in that game. LeBron was the biggest thing on the court. He played center. He was able to play it, and that night he did go to the hole. He did push people around.
Yes,
And
but who was he playing against though?
Yeah, I get it.
Curry.
He played
Like
against,
I guarantee he came in with a mentality against Curry because he has a thing
yeah.
about Curry or whatever.
Right.
And he wanted to do whatever. Like, so when he gets in, I guess whatever it is, he'll have games like that. But for the most part, Ferdinand the Bull, isn't that like the little tale that they have as a kid? The Ferdinand the Bull was this big, gentle, giant bull or whatever.
Yeah.
That's LeBron. LeBron he's the gentle giant. Because think about it. He has never gotten into a fight in his whole career.
That one guy from the Bulls pushed them, and he faked like he just slid half.
Like, he's never thrown a punch.
Yeah.
How many NBA guys do you know that will be around that long and have never thrown one punch?
Zach, the funny thing is, the one time early in the season when he hit Isaiah Stewart, the first thing he wanted to do was apologize.
Yes. Yes.
And,
that's what I say. That's who he
wanted
is.
to call him and apologize. Like,
but then who did you just say he got into it with?
Well, Isaiah Stewart?
Right. Who is that?
Ricky or nobody.
Yeah, exactly. but I'm saying, think about it. All these battles he's had against all these teams, not one fight. No, or I shouldn't even say not one fight, not one punch thrown.
Well,
he's just not that dude.
I mean, he's really not Mr. Nice Guy. He started the team up thing. So, I mean, he wants to be friends with everybody. And, like, that's the one thing people talk about KD all the time. That's one thing I like about KD. When he first came in the league, he was actually kind of friendly like that. But once the media turned on him when he went to Golden State, he turned his whole personality around. And he going to talk shit just like everybody else now. I don't even think that's – you talking about LeBron punching. I don't even really – see LeBron actually frown his face upward.
Yeah, he's not that type. The only other thing I remember, I want to say when the Heat were on like a 26-game winning streak, and when they lost to Miami, I think they were fouling him hard that night, and I think he gave Joakim Noah or one of the Bulls players a hard screen or something, and that was the most he did. But even with that, he just gave him a hard screen. Mm-hmm. He didn't try and throw a punch or do it. Has he ever pushed anybody?
I think that's the incident I was talking about. After that, one of the guys, I think his last name, he pushed LeBron after that. So yeah,
and LeBron went to the ground.
Yeah,
he went to the ground. Yeah,
he's we love Kobe for that Mamba mentality, but LeBron's mentality.
he is when his career is over, they do kind of like the documentation like they did with Jordan years back. The one thing you'll probably see, a lot of people are going to say how they like LeBron and all this other stuff. Whereas versus with Jordan, you can see not a whole lot of people like Jordan too much.
Mm-hmm. Same with Kobe.
It'll be totally different.
Yeah. Or Isaiah Thomas.
Yes. It's going to be real. Like, he's going to fall more in that Magic category. Everybody seems to like Magic.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And did Magic Johnson get in any fights? Like, I was kind of younger, but did he ever get in any?
That's a good question. We have to look into that.
That's a good question.
I know
because I know Bird got into some.
Yeah. Bird will scrap with you now.
Yeah. I know that Magic was, in that especially that Lakers Celtic rivalry, I know they did go after it a little bit. Now Isaiah and Magic got into some hard fouls amongst.
Yeah, but I'm saying actual,
but not a fight.
Like punching fights. Hey, we on the floor scrapping. I don't think Magic ever got it. You see that with Jordan. Jordan got in fights quite often. Bird got in his, of course, Barkley, you can see Shaq throwing punches and everything. And look, Kobe threw some punches too.
And got punched on.
Yes. LeBron just is he hasn't thrown any punches, I don't think, and I don't think anybody has thrown any punches at him. He's not going to be that guy.
I think the one player that if they do a documentary will be Joakim Noah. He does not like LeBron, and he's not afraid.
He'd probably be the one.
Yeah, he'll be the only one.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
man. But to spin it all the way back to your question though, you brought up that play, and that play right there. I don't see how anybody else could defend that and try to make it out to be anything else. Simple layup. It's wide open for you. Get fouled, go to the line, or make the two on the layup.
And we had another play. Eric Gordon put him on skates also early in that game, kind of like the Iverson Jordan thing.
Hey, old man, LeBron's an old man. He ain't got joints like he had when he was guarding D Rose back in the day in the Eastern Conference. Like it happened.
Look, we saw we saw Allen Iverson cross up MJ.
Mm-hmm.
At some point.
Though I don't think it would have mattered if Jordan had been young with Allen Iverson. Probably does that to you, whether you're young or old.
Yeah, but the one thing you did see was that Jordan tried to size him up and everything. He went and he accepted challenge.
Right. He wanted that challenge. He wanted that challenge. Right.
Yeah. I kind of think LeBron kind of spun out that one and just, I've been there before too. I wasn't known as one. I wasn't known as one of the greatest defenders when I played. Anyway, I'm a more of a situational defender. You know what I'm saying? I like to read the passing lane. Term. Yeah. So I know there's times when there's guys out there that can really shake with the ball, and you just kind of you might want to just act like make your move and then kind of get out the way.
Yeah.
And that looked like what he did last night too against Aaron Gordon. He just kind of got out the way.
Are they, before we wrap up, are they out of the way of the playoffs?
Man, of course, man. I mean, if you're talking about top 8, but if you're talking about with the play-in as well, or you just talking about playoffs in general?
I'm going to say with the play-in. Will they survive a play-in if they have it?
You want to answer that first, Zach, or me?
Is Anthony Davis healthy?
I don't think he's 100%.
Like if you're telling me they make it to the play-in and Anthony Davis is healthy or is healthy as you can be, and he's I'll go 95% of Anthony Davis. If you asking me, they get 95% of Anthony Davis, they can make the finals. And now that's probably I'm probably a bigger believer in Anthony Davis than other people. But if Anthony Davis is at his best, they gonna kill Phoenix. They were beating Phoenix last year until Davis got hurt. Like
it's a different Phoenix now.
Were they not beating? They were beating Phoenix last year until he got hurt, right?
Yeah. I think Phoenix would end up winning either way, but I think it would have been closer.
Chris Paul missed some games in that series too.
I'm just kind of you give me Anthony Davis at his best,
and they still won.
And you'd have to tell me
Zach,
who has a better player than him.
Been his best since like 2016.
Well, the problem is Mr. 411 might be right about something he said. And when stars come play with LeBron, their game gets diminished, and maybe that's happening to Anthony Davis. But if you give me the Anthony Davis from the bubble, I don't see why they can't. They have a puncher's chance against Phoenix, or definitely against Golden State. If Golden State like Looney, stop it.
Wait a minute. Like you said Anthony Davis from the bubble, but I don't think it was just Anthony Davis. I think it was the whole squad, and they don't have that squad. They don't have that depth. But they don't have Russo. They don't have. Go ahead.
Well, what I think Zach was referring to though was Anthony Davis at that time. He was playing.
Yes,
he was playing well on the offense end and the defense end.
Yes,
yeah, especially defense. I'll give you that. Yeah.
He was playing well on both ends. For me, the Lakers are who they are at this point. They're I think. I mean, let's look at it now. The 10th slot is the Portland Trailblazers. So the Lakers are not falling beyond Portland. So the Lakers will make the play-in.
They better not fall beyond Portland.
And because Lillard's not even coming back, right? So you're looking at a 9-8 matchup or whatever number it is against whoever. and then they should win that. Then they should win the next one. They should be the 8th seed, and that's where I think it ends for me, because Phoenix to me is a team.
Oh
They
yes.
their whole team is executes. They all know what to do. They're playing together as a unit, and I think when you play as a unit and you have shooting as well, and you have some defenders out there like with Mikal Bridges, and you have Aiton with your length, and then you have a point guard and Chris Paul. You got shooters. I think they had the formula to beat the Lakers in the first round.
Mhm.
I think that the Lakers at this point, even with Anthony Davis coming back, you still got to figure out now that he's back, how's that going to affect Westbrook? How's that going to affect
Right.
LeBron?
They
You know
need
what
to
I'm saying?
bring
So,
Westbrook off the bench. They need to stop
but
playing
They
with it
need to,
and
but
let
they're
that
him
not
play
gonna
with
do
it
it.
and let
but
him play with the second unit.
yeah,
Not
but
gonna happen.
they ain't did it. They ain't did it yet, and it's not going to happen. Westbrook is
Right.
not
They're
going for
not
that.
gonna do it.
They made this decision to go with him. I mean, I just think that once he comes back, now they got to figure out a whole nother way to play. And is Anthony Davis
Right.
going to be fully ready to go when that
No,
happens?
look,
You
that's
know
the
what I'm
real
saying?
no,
Yeah.
he's not.
It's just too many things to juggle. The Lakers just need to go. In my personal opinion, the Lakers need to trade LeBron James. The reason why I say that is because he's the one that at this point he's putting up big stats, and there's still going to be organizations out here that want to sign him.
You think so?
Whether, yeah,
Yes.
of course.
The Knicks
I
would
mean,
take him in a heartbeat.
do you know what the tickets? You know what the tickets? The
That's
tickets,
true.
the tickets that come with that. The the
Yeah. Not
sales. I
not just
mean,
the on court stuff. Is
yeah. I
Yes.
mean, you get
Yes.
him. There's teams out here that'll take LeBron. Like it's kind of like the Russell Wilson thing. You know, cut your losses when you can, while you can. I mean, it's not going to get any better because think about it. At this point, LeBron can't go less than 19 years in the league. Each year is going to get more and more. It's going to be 20, 21,
Yes.
22.
right.
Let somebody else deal with that. Move them while you can. Then you figure out the other parts later. But you got to start there.
He's the old chick at the club,
Yes.
I would
and he
trade
don't
AD.
realize it.
I would trade AD.
I think all three, LeBron,
Yeah.
AD, and Westbrook. You can package AD and Westbrook together, maybe, and you just start fresh. And the good thing for the Lakers, they're a brand name organization.
So they're gonna
Yep.
get players. Yeah.
Yes, you
You're
would
gonna
think that they would.
Yeah, eventually you'll get the next whatever players come along that you can snatch up and fill in those slots. So, you got to do it, man. It's time to move on, man. It's just when you can't you look at it and you see it. It's like what's our old guy Denny Green used to say? They are who we thought they were.
Correct.
We are who we
And
thought they were. Whatever he said, that's what they are right now.
and you are probably right that it's going to be a first round exit to Phoenix. But I'll just say, if Anthony Davis could be close to being healthy, LeBron and Anthony Davis would be unguardable in that series because Phoenix don't have anybody that can match up with them. That's got to
but
give you a chance.
and let's throw this in
I
there
was
too,
gonna
right
clean
quick.
up. There's a broom around here somewhere.
Well, Reggie, let's
I'm
throw
just
one more
saying.
thing.
I'm just saying you can't guard them. They
Yeah.
can still lose because of the rest of the team, but they
But
would be unguardable.
and then you know what? And that's the problem too. The team is not guarding anybody. So,
Oh, correct.
like I just think they give up too many points, man. And
No,
it's just time to move. It's time to move on.
It'd be good for the Lakers if they could get into the lottery, and that way they'd have a shot, maybe to a top three, because they're not winning the championship this year. Too many things would have to go right. But as I said, Anthony Davis being healthy would be one of them.
Yep, that's a great start.
We got to get another show for the playoffs too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Reggie. Look,
hey, Reggie, I'm disappointed that we agreed on so much. I was ready for you.
I was like, man.
But I'm glad you saw the light today.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
The sports gospel according to Zachariah.
You was on it tonight.
Well, thank you, and it's good to see you, brother.
You too, bro.
Man, Reggie, we appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me. Always, man. Thanks. Always love.
All right. Until next time.
We'll see you, Reggie.
All right. Peace, man.
Peace.
All right, Reggie, man. He's fun, man.
Yes, he was. we'll give the people something in the future. Maybe he'll have more to disagree with. But that's good. Look, I'm glad we're kind of all on the same page tonight. Nice way to get back into it.
Hey man, you got to ease your way back into
yes,
this thing, man.
Absolutely.
But the longer we go, there's gonna be some stuff come up, and we're gonna have to hash them out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Look, it's coming. I'm not really sure as of right now. Maybe I don't know. I think we might be on the same thing about a lot of stuff. Be it the Nets and the move that they made, we might be on the same page with them. Who knows? We'll have to see. I think we got a lot of good stuff going. I'm coming around on Phoenix. That well put together team. They have a great chance to win. Probably Phoenix's only real issue is they don't have a top player in the league, and it'll come down to in basketball, is it the star player that helps you win, or can you do it with the key team concept, a la like the 04 Pistons or whatever? They're kind of in that mode.
Yeah,
kind of.
Hey man, you brought up top players, right? So I think it's time for you to talk about some top players.
Woo!
From your favorite team, University of Georgia. So give us a little University of Georgia football talk. I know you've been itching for this, Zach.
Well, just I know we coming to the end, so just a shout out. The University of Georgia performed well at the combine, but one individual in particular, Jordan Davis, had a outstanding combine. And I want to say he ran the 40 in a 4.78. And you may have heard this term before. You know how they say pound for pound? And a lot of times they do that in boxing. And basically they'll say that in boxing for, say, like a guy like Floyd Mayweather or Sugar Ray Leonard, one of my favorites, the little guy, that they'll say pound for pound, he's the best boxer, because they know in theory, if you put him in the ring with a heavyweight, the heavyweight would knock him out because the heavyweight is bigger. Well, I think pound for pound, Jordan Davis may have ran the fastest 40 time ever. And I'm saying, let's go faster than Dion, faster than Bo, faster than any of them, because the man was like 341, 342 pounds and ran a 4.78. That's ridiculous. Like, and I don't think people can really grasp that, because they're looking at 4.78 and they're probably going to focus on the 4.78 and think that's good. But that's like think of a battleship moving as fast as a damn, almost as fast as like a sports car.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. I am shocked. And then that goes to someone that I haven't given much credit to, but I got to give Kirby Smart some credit. I didn't expect much from him as a coach. I thought he had way underachieved and he was getting a lot more love. I still think he has more to do. And I'll be fair, the Alabama fans are doing a whole lot of whining. And some of it may be just in the fact that if they had their two starting wide receivers, maybe they do go ahead and win the national championship, it would have definitely changed up how Georgia had to play defense. But he's got the title. Now the training wheels are off. I'll give him the over-under of 3.5 for national titles. He should get to 4. And I only say that because, he's going to be at Georgia until he dies, which could be like a save until he's 70, 75 or something. So good for him. I'm not putting him in the conversation as greatest, but he got Georgia off the snide. His players are performed excellently at the combine, so he must be doing something right. And he's got our boy Dale employed, so that's always a good thing. Keep it Dale getting the paycheck. So congrats to you, Kirby.
All right. Man, Zach, well, I never would have thought I would see today that you said so many nice things about Kirby Smart.
He helped us win a national title, so he gets a little bit of grace period for the next couple of years. I can't be too mean about him, because it looks like the university got it right.
All right. Well, Zach, that was a nice take there to close things out. Man, it was a great show today. I mean, it was refreshing to have my sports brother back in the building.
Great to be back with you. And one more thing, I know you said this ain't your school, but I'm gonna give a little shout out to the Spencer Greenway boys high school basketball team for winning the state championship. congrats to them. I got nothing to be mad about with them. They didn't beat us in football, so I'm good with that. So congrats to you guys, for any of y'all Spencer Green Waves that are watching. Are they still the Green Waves?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's been a long time.
They're still the Green Waves.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's an excellent job there in winning the state championship.
I'm sorry, one more. My apologies. And congrats to the our buddy Rob, his Northeast boys basketball team, and we'll say the girls basketball team. They both made it to the state Final Four. So congrats to y'all. I know I'm in a good congratulatorial mood today.
Yeah, I see.
I'll try to be a little rougher as we get back into the swing of this.
Is this the new Zach?
Could be.
All right. And we'd like to thank Heavily Spot Mobile for being our #1 sponsor.
Yes.
And also, and more importantly, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, watching the show, listening. Hit that like, subscribe, and notify.
I got one more. And congratulations to Mr. 411 for once again making it to a state finals to referee. Congratulations, Mr. 411. Good job.
My goodness, Zach, you just all over today, my man. But I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem.
All right. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, he is Zach. I am Mr. 411. We thank you all for watching the show. Stay tuned for our show next week. Until then, peace.
Peace. Love.